Hi and welcome back to Finders Beepers History Seekers. So, I'm in Italy, I'm in Naples with Freddie. We decided to come away for a few days. Now, we are going to Pompeii and I'm really looking forward to showing you around. I'm looking forward to going and see you around. Look at the devastation of this place. You can tell it's two boys in a hotel room together. It's a right mess. So anyway, we're heading off. We're gonna go on a train and a bus. Normally I hire a car, so this is like a big adventure for me. So we're gonna head off and go and see and show you around. Right, so as we were flying in, you could see Mount Vesuvius. Now, I'm pretty sure every single one of you knows what happened at Pompeii. So it was obviously the volcano erupted and it covered the whole city of Pompeii with ash and magma and all that. Look at this behind me, so nice. Anyway, so we're heading off to the town to see the bodies and the town and everything that's left there, and there's some really cool information I can tell you when we get there. Now, we took a wrong turn and ended up in here, and it's actually really amazing. Seriously, look at this. Look at the Illuminati sign at the top of the ceiling. Now, I come to places and I like fireplaces and ceilings. Not really anything in comparison to this, is it? Look at this. That's absolutely crazy. Let me zoom out and show you properly. Look at that. That is so, so good. Look round this side behind me as well. Wow. Right, look at the rest of this place as well. Absolutely unbelievable, but that room was crazy. Some amazing, amazing stuff. Now, I don't want to spend too long looking around churches and stuff. I know some people will be really interested in it, just like I am, but there will also be people that are just like, right, get to Pompeii then, that's where you're supposed to be going. So I'll quickly show you up the other end as well, and then we'll head out of here. Look at the dome on this. Look at that. It just doesn't do it justice in these pictures as well. This is like ancient painting as well. These are hundreds and hundreds of years old. And like I said, it doesn't do it justice in the slightest. It's wonderful. Look at that up there. Right, I'm just going to put it, zoom out and give you a bit of a look round properly that way. How amazing is this place? Right, we're gonna head out of here. We need to come get, you know what I'm like for getting sidetracked with things, but I need to just make sure we just get there, otherwise we're gonna end up walking around everything. There is one more room to look at in here, and then we'll head off. See what I mean? I can't even get out the door. Right, look at it in here. For a start, look at this floor. And I wanna come and stand in this middle bit here, just to show you this ceiling. Look at that. Look at that. How magnificent is it in here, honestly? Now, I have got a torch in my bag. I should probably get it out and light this place up, but I feel a bit disrespectful in a church. But that is crazy. And like I said, this floor, once again, it just doesn't do justice to it on camera. It's very dark and dingy, but it is really, really good. Anyway, let's get out of here. Right, I've got Freddie. Freddie's looking down holes to see if we can get underneath this place. But yeah, we just came, like we walked up here thinking it was a way through and just walked through that door. You can't even tell there's anything here, and how amazing it is inside is absolutely crazy. So anyway, we went the wrong way, now we've got to go back the right way. Right, so yeah, heading back down these stairs. Like I said, you can't even tell. You literally can't tell that there's anything up here at all. Right, come on Freds, let's get out of here. Let's go and work out how we get on this train or bus or whatever it is we're going on first. Right, we've got ourselves to the train station to go and get on. We kind of ended up, instead of getting on a bus, we walked because we couldn't find the bus stop. But Maradona is everywhere. He's even on the side of buildings. He's huge. And I know he played for Napoli, but I never expected him to be this popular still. Even though he's dead, he is everywhere. It's crazy. He's not even Italian, he's Argentinian. Anyway, let's go and get our train. Right, the train's here. I'm hoping we're getting on the right one. We are definitely getting on the right one. I just hope we're going in the right direction. So, like I said, I'm not used to going on trains. I'm used to, like, driving everywhere. So, anyway, let's get gone. Hopefully, we'll get a good view of Mount Vesuvius. I don't know whether we should be at that side, Freds. I think we should go that side. Let's swap. There we go, Mount Vesuvius from the train. I kind of want to go to the top of that, to be fair, but I don't know if you're allowed to or not. It's quite industrial around this bit. There's loads and loads of like battered buildings. It's pretty cool, to be fair. Right, so we're in Pompeii, by the way. Well, we're in the modern version of Pompeii. We're heading to the old bit now. But I bet you think I'm exaggerating with the amount of Maradonas there are in this place. Seriously, look at this. How big is this? Right, so that is the size of a car. Look at this. It's massive. So good though. Really good. Look at this. Zoom out a bit. It's the size of a house. It is so good. That's so good. Right, pizza's come. I know I'm going to get absolutely ribbed for getting tuna, but I do like a good seafood pizza. Freddie's got like sausage and chip pizza, which is pretty cool. And I've already got down a Red Bull, so we're on to the lemon juice. Right, crack on, because we need to get in there and go and have a look round. This place actually was amazing. The food was really cheap, really tasty. Now it's time to get off up here. Right, so we've just fallen onto a proper good one. So this sign round here said free tickets, and I was like, what is that all about? So literally went to the lady and said, where do we buy our tickets? She said, no, it's free today. It's free every like third Saturday of the month. So we get to go in Pompeii for free, which is brilliant. Right, so we're in. And you know what? This place is massive. You've got Mount Vesuvius in the back, which obviously caused all the problems. I think. Now the problem is, as you know, I am quite tight. So I won't pay for a tour guide. I'll just work it out myself. I think this is like an amphitheatre or maybe a gladiatorial arena or something. We'll work it out. But obviously that's where all the stuff came from and caused all the problems for these guys. But we're going to have a look around. I don't want to spend too much just filming. I want to spend some time with Freddie and looking around properly, because that's what we've come for. But I will show you the best bits. Haha, I was right. See, you don't need a tour guide. You can work it out if you use your eyes. Oh, look at it down in here though. Looks so good. Imagine the people that have walked down here over the years. It's crazy to think how old this place is. Right, so I've just read that these little bits down here, look at it for a start, look at it out here. So the gladiators used to fight out there, and this is the oldest, like still in amazing condition, place that there is in the world. It was built in 70 BC, and the gladiators were taken into these side corridors once they'd been killed and stripped of their armour and their weapons. I only know that because I've just literally just read that, but it's so cool. Like, all these tunnels around here is where they used to stand and get ready, and they'd have lions and tigers from Africa brought out into this place. It's crazy, it's so mad. And this takes you up onto the top section. This is a different bit from where the spectators would go in. This is just for the gladiators, and it's mad. Now, can you imagine when it was like the gladiatorial fights and stuff, what the noise must have been like? Thousands and thousands of people outside ready to fight. Well, no, they weren't all ready to fight. Ready to watch the fight. And the gladiators in here listening to that. How scared must you have been? But a lot of people don't realise, a lot of the gladiators actually volunteered to do it. They weren't just slaves. It was a massive honour to be a gladiator. So I don't know, I don't think I could deal with it myself. Right, look at it out here. You could just imagine them all. Now obviously there was all seating up there, like there is partially now. A lot of it will have been lost over the years. I don't know what Freddie's doing. Absolutely maniac. But yeah, look at it in here. It's crazy. Let's zoom out for you, give you a better idea. Mad to think hundreds, if not thousands, of gladiators have died on the here, fighting with swords. Madness. Like I said, I don't know, just standing in the middle of here knowing how many people have died, how many people have had their head chopped off, like the emperor or whoever was here doing the thumbs down and all that. It's mad. And this bit over here, I've just been told, is where they sent in lions and wild animals. I'll show you now. So the gladiators would have come out of each end of here, but then down here is the little entrance for the animals that they'd brought over from Africa. Can't get it to focus, but there we go. Imagine that. It's just crazy to think what's gone off in this place. Anyway, this is just one small section of Pompeii. Let's go and look around the rest. Right, so coming out of the arena, now me and Freddie have just been saying it's so easy to get around the outside of that. So tempted to just go off the beaten path and do what we want, but that's just the explorer in me coming out. And Freddie, he's just as bad as me. So, but yeah, this is where they used to have all the vines and have all the wine made. Obviously, underneath the volcano. It's just mad. I just can't get my head round how scared he must have been. Like the thought that could erupt, and they probably didn't know that it could erupt because it had not happened for hundreds of years. So they wouldn't have even understood what happened with that, like with the volcano. They didn't have that sort of understanding that we do. And a lot of these stones, if you look at them, they're quite porous, and it's all volcanic rock. So it's definitely happened a fair few times before that. But this place is amazing, it's so good. And we've only just started. Right, so these bits that we're walking along now seem like just normal little paths, but these would have been the roads between, well, just like around a normal town or city. But obviously we've turned them into little paths. But you can imagine the little carts trundling along here, going up to the gladiatorial arena and bringing the heroes along. It's just so good. I like proper get into it. I'm proper thinking about every last little bit. But look, you get a better view of the vineyard and the arena. Some of the little houses. Now some of the stuff is more modern, but majority of it is exactly as it would have been all those years ago. Right, like I was saying, this is what would have been a road, but this is what they would have looked like. Look at the stones on the floor with the big curbs at the edges. It's mad, it's really, really good. Now the view over the top of there is amazing, but I can't show you because I probably should have done it from up here. But there's loads of people taking photographs because it's like a tourist spot. But I will take you back up and show you because it looks really, really cool just because of a certain tree. There we go, look, Mount Vesuvius with that big tree. It just looks so cool in front of it there, look. Now Freddie's just like, hurry up, Dad, taking far too long. Right, this gives you a proper idea of what it would have been like. So good. It is just like stepping back in time. If you get rid of all the old women and the couples taking photographs, it is literally just like stepping back into Roman times. Although the suspension would be absolutely shagged on here. So this bit in here, we're guessing, just by looking at it, it was either a wash house or the Roman baths. If I take you a bit further up, away from these people, I'll show you through this window. That's definitely what it looks like to me. Just looking in here, I've got to be careful. But yeah, it's definitely got a feel of the baths in Bath. So Freddie's loving it. He just can climb on everything. But yeah, it's just so good. I love standing in the middle of here and just looking up that street. Let me zoom right in for you. You just imagine the gladiatorial people coming down, the soldiers, people just doing the day-to-day things as well. It's just so cool. Right, we're just going into one of the houses now. Oh, it's just mad, it's just crazy to think these have been here for thousands of years. What went off in this room? Like, over the years, it's tiny, a little tiny room. But just think about the stuff that they used to do and the way of life. Like, look at this. All the different colours on the walls. Look at the pictures still on the walls. All this time afterwards. Look at the little face there. That's so cool. That's history looking straight back at you. I'm used to going in places hundreds of years old. This is thousands of years old. It's crazy. I just can't believe how good this still is. Nowhere else in the world is it as good as this. Nowhere I've ever been. It's just amazing. I just got in trouble there. Trust me, I come to somewhere like this and I have a security guard tell me off because I touched a wall and I got in trouble. But it's fair enough, to be honest. Right, in this room is something that is just the most bizarre thing ever. Now, there is a lot of people don't realise about the bodies in Pompeii. There's something about them that is a bit strange. Right, so looking in here to start with, I don't know what these are for anyway, but then look, if you look at the body over there, you can see it's still got an actual skull on it, but then it's like a mass of what looks like concrete. So what they did, and a lot of people don't realise when they come here, is that's actually not the body. That's actually the space where the body was. So what they did was, when the ash and the molten rock went over the top of the bodies, obviously it burnt away all the skin and everything like that. Some of the bones remained, some of the rest of them remained, but the majority of them were burnt away. However, it left a space where the bodies were. Now, I don't know when it was, but the archaeologists or whoever it was that were down here filled the space with concrete. So actually, the bodies that you see are just concrete, but it sort of represents where their bodies were, because obviously they deteriorated over time and left a gap. And a lot of people don't realise that. They think that's the full body and it's just sort of been turned to stone, but it's not at all. It's really cool though, because like I say, that skull is the actual skull of the person that just was like killed. It's awful. Like, what a death, what a way to die. Right, so this one looks like the house of Octavius, which is pretty cool. I don't know how they know who owned which bits. I'm guessing certain things are documented. And I don't know what this central bit would be for. They had it in the other one as well. Like a sundial on that bit, maybe? I'm not quite sure. Or would they all sit round the edges of it? I don't know. I'd just like to think what people do. And then over the back, by the looks of things through there, there's an orchard or a vineyard. We'll go through there in a second. Right, so I've just been reading. This was like a relatively important person. They had things like waterfalls. There's some artwork in here that depicts the Trojan War and the battle with Hercules. There's so many good things. Apparently there was an Egyptian style statue found in here as well. There's just so many good things. It's just crazy to think that someone really important lived here. And at that time, just as it erupted, they thought they were like probably untouchable, and then that happened and it's like gone. But even the little rooms are so well decorated with like soldiers and all sorts, little bits that cut through. So good. Right, moving through. Look at this little bit here. It's so beautiful, to be fair. Oh look, this is the bit that's got the battle at Sparta. Was I say Sparta? Oh no, the Trojan War, sorry. It's the Trojan War up at the top there. That's crazy. Now will be where maybe the fountain was, because there's like water bits that run underneath. It's just unbelievable. I can't get over the fact that all these things are still here. Like, I don't know, I almost imagine like they'd recreate half the stuff that was here, but you can tell the majority of the stuff is just as you would have found it. I look on the other wall over here. So yeah, just from where we've come, and obviously it's quite busy because it's touristy, but you've got pictures of lions and gazelles and all sorts on the walls. And it would have been quite new, a lot of these animals. Brought over from Africa, stuff they'd not seen previously. So good. Right, so moving down into the gardens of this place, look at it. It's amazing. I could just imagine all the pretty Italian ladies running around, not Messi in a t-shirt with his hair done, but all the pretty Italian ladies sort of walking through here in the daytime while the men were out at work. And I'll tell you something else, there's lots of pretty Italian women. Not that I've been checking them out at all. Now it's quite hard to show you everything because the sun is so bright today. It's such a lovely day, especially after the huge thunderstorm we had in the night last night. But I don't know what it is about these roads. Just look at them. You can just imagine Freddie being a small Roman child, legging it about. But look up here. It's just like going back in time. It's crazy. And then you've got a little well, I think it is, round here, or a little water fountain. You would have come and fed your horse or something like that. Look at that. Look at I can't look at anything because look at the sun. Let me try and get you here. Yeah, look. It's just so weird. It's just, I've never been anywhere like this before. Right, so all this side of the street, all along here, was for making wine. It was like a wine factory, which I know, I can't show you, I've got to get, it's hard because of the bars. But look, just up there, you can see big containers where they used to keep the wine. Now, you're not allowed to get through to this bit at all, but it's amazing that things like that have lasted all these years. Like I said, this street was famous for making wine, and I bet a hell of a lot of wine was drunk in this place. God, I bet they needed to after it all kicked off. So it was 79, the year 79, when this all happened. So in like, what, 56 years time, that will be 2,000 years since the tragedy, which is just, actually, I know I keep saying it's mad, it's crazy, using the same words and over again. I think you've got to be here to realise how amazing it actually is. So we're in another villa, another big house that was owned by a ship owner. Now apparently he drew the ship on the wall, and I'm guessing, is this it? Yeah, it is. Right, let me show you this. It's quite hard to see, to be fair. Right, so on this wall, I'll go up close. You see the point there? There's like some sort of snaky bit on it. That's the front and the bottom of the ship. There's a little person there. See his little head? And the back of the ship goes round here. That's the point of the back of the ship. And then the sails, it's quite hard because there's shine to show you as well. The sails are there, and then there's writing, and it's oh, there's a person there as well. That's basically graffiti of the time, but it was the ship owner that lived here, and the ship was called the Europa, and it sailed the Mediterranean. Now the guy that owned it lived here, and they found records of the ship and bits and bobs about it, and then they found that scribbled on the wall, which I think's mad. I've just noticed as well, it actually says Europa there in the corner. I just think that's so good. And the thing is, people moan about graffiti and things like that, but this sort of graffiti that's here from hundreds and thousands of years ago, we think's amazing. So what are people going to think about someone that's drawn a massive willy on the wall? Now in the central area where the ship's drawn on the wall, you've got like little mini vines, so you'd had grapes growing on there, so you could sit in this little bit, eat some grapes, drink your wine. And then I don't really know why this is in here. It sort of doesn't make sense. I don't know whether it lived here or not, but that's to like grind your corn and your wheat and stuff like that. You'd have two slaves walking round and round, and it would be slaves back then as well. It wouldn't be animals, it'd be two people walking round, or maybe even four people walking round. It looks so heavy as well. Now this is another collection of, I'm guessing, vessels for wine that would have been corked up at the top. Well, maybe not cork, but something would have been put in the top and they would have been stored. But you used to find things like this full of coins as well, maybe smaller versions full of Roman coins where they used to bury them before battle. It's so good. But there's so many rooms, like most of them are like this one, quite empty. But I could show you room after room after room. It's so big, this place. Now this garden was owned by the people that lived in there, the ship owner, and it's a two-tiered garden with vines in it, but the view in the background is unbelievable. Right, so you've got the vines and everything down there, your two-tiered garden. There's the back of the house, but then let me lift up and show you. Look at it here. How wonderful is that view? How beautiful is that? Now that's not, this here isn't Vesuvius, it's just another one of the hills. Vesuvius is over in that direction, but the coast is just down here. The sea, when we were on the train, we were coming past the sea, which is just down there as well. But imagine this being your garden. Imagine that being the view you'd got. Wonderful. Now, I read a book called, I think it was The Gates of Rome by Con Iggulden, and it was set somewhere like this. Well, it was set in Rome, but I would have thought it'd be very similar, just a lot bigger. But it just takes you back. Like, when the way he writes is very descriptive, talking about like the clothing and things like that, and I can just see it in my head. I can just see what life would have been like here. And although it was fine and wonderful and like colourful, it was also like scary. Like walking down the streets at night, you literally could just be killed, just be robbed and things like that. Or your political allegiances could end up with you stabbed in the night and things. It's just really good, really good. And this place would have been exactly the same, which is just mad. He's having such a good time just bombing around every single room. Now I like this bit that we're at the moment because there seems to be less people, which is always a bonus. But look at the snake. Once again, I've got to try and fit you through the bars, but look at this. How good is that? I wonder what that represented. Because generally, all the things that you see represented something or other. And then in the room next to it, you've got like these bits, which I don't know if they're for cooking or if they're for washing things or what. But then I just noticed the mural there. That's also a snake. So there's got to be something to it. There's got to be a reason there's a snake on both bits of the wall. One just, well, zoomed in a bit too far there. One just round that corner and one there. It's a bit weird, really. Like I say, it's just good walking down here. Because even though there is people, there's just not quite as many people. He says as he turns around, there's billions behind him. I've just come to this like weird inside bit, and it's probably got more design on the walls and tiles on the floor than any of the other rooms. I don't really understand what's going on, whether it's beds or what, but I'll show you. So first of all, you've got this little bit round the corner with a snake and someone's coat and an umbrella. But look, a snake there. There seems to be a theme of snakes around this little bit. Look, there's another one there. I don't know if it was like a family animal or something. And this, you've got the tiled floors, the pictures up there. That almost looks like Medusa's head. That one there, look. But that's Greek. But I know they took a lot of influence from the Greeks. But then, I don't know what this is around the edge. I don't know what that was for. I'm not sure at all. But yeah, what an amazing room. It's been kept almost exactly the same as it was almost 2,000 years ago. Mad. Right, I've actually got a bit of information for you. So first up, let's look at that and then look on here. So the house owes its name to the discovery of a bronze statue of a young man now housed in the National Archaeological Museum of Naples that was used as a lamp holder for the illumination of the triclinium, the banqueting hall. The entranceway retains a cast of the door wedged close by a stake driven into the ground, giving us a vivid imagination of the violence of the eruption. The exceptional floor of the triclinium, which is that I've just showed you a minute ago, those tiles on the floor down there, is unique in Pompeii. Is made of coloured marble from different areas around the Mediterranean Sea and of coloured glass arranged as rosettes and lotus flowers. Next to the wall is a reconstruction of a three-sided dining couch. So that's what that wooden bit was. Obviously it's a reconstruction, but they would have all sat round there, basically like all sat round watching Coronation Street on a, I don't know what day it's on, Tuesday night with your family, all sat eating a curry. They'd all be sat round there talking and whatever they're doing, probably watching slaves dance or something. Now it also says on here that there's Mars and Venus with Eros, which is just round this corner. Actually, look at this as well. Floors in here, but that's on about that up at the end there, look, which is pretty cool. So this place is just amazing. I think this is probably the best bit we've been in. So there's more stuff in here, look, as well. All these rooms. It's crazy, like, just think of the abandoned houses I go to that are falling down, paintwork coming off after just maybe 100 years. So to see rooms like this that are almost 2,000 years old. Now, don't get me wrong, I bet you, look at that big blast hole in there. I wonder if something's just like shot through the top of that wall, look, because it's the same there. It's been reconstructed up at the top and the same on here. I wonder if something from the volcano just smashed its way through this wall. Imagine that. Imagine how scared he'd be. And then, yeah, look at all the pictures and things on the wall still here. But they were saying that something had been found sort of smashed into the floor and the colossal explosion had caused that. So that is what makes me think this was damaged by it directly. It's not just fallen down over years, it's just been like smashed to pieces. Now I was just about to leave this little bit and move on to the next bit, and Freddie found a couple of bits that I'd not seen. He's so passionate about it, he's just like me. He's like every single little hole, he's just looking in and looking round. The first thing is this bit of cellar that's sort of been uncovered. So this would have been totally covered across the top. Obviously it's been destroyed, and you can see there's a floor above. There would have been some sort of access, I'm not quite sure where, but there would have been some sort of access into that. I reckon it's to store wine or something. The other thing you noticed was down through one of these, it wasn't this window, I think it was the next one, which is something else, sort of almost like cellars. And I don't know what would have been made in there, but it's all the hidden stuff, the things that you wouldn't normally see, but because it's been sort of destroyed, it uncovers it all. And the last one is the spookiest and the weirdest, and that's this one up here. Look in here. I would love to get in here and have a look round. I'm not gonna lie, I would happily just jump in there and go and have a bit of a look, but can't really be doing that. Here we'll get ourselves kicked off, which, you know me, doesn't sort of normally bother me, but he's enjoying it so much I couldn't take that away from him. It's not fair. Right, so coming off the main road, look at the sun, it's just crazy. Look how blue and beautiful it is that way. But if I manage to get past this crowd of absolute numpties, I'll show you the floor in here. It's brilliant. Thought you were talking to me then. Freddie's excited to show you. Look down here. How amazing is that floor? That is unbelievable. And on the walls, look at the dog down there. Anyway, we better shift because people are wanting to look. Right, Freddie won't go. Freddie's over there and won't go anywhere near this because he knows it's rude. And I just need to show you. So I'm guessing this is like a fountain of fertility. Because he won't go anywhere near because it's covered in willies. It's so funny. But yeah, I reckon that's what it was for fertility. Right, just coming to another room with the mosaic floor still down as well. But there's a picture of an elephant on that wall, and there's two people stood on its back, like having a scrap. In fact, are there two elephants fighting each other? That's pretty cool, isn't it? There's some really good stuff in here. So not only is there like day-to-day houses and stuff like that, there's obviously the shops and the places where they made stuff. And this behind me is where they dyed the clothes, they stretched the clothes, they made them into whatever they wanted to make them. And further down here is another section where they did exactly the same. Now I thought it was like a pool at first, like a swimming pool, but apparently it's not. So I'll show you that as well. Yeah, so coming into this room, this is what I thought was like almost like a mini hot tub with a little seats around the side. But no, that was for that as well. But even that is designed really nicely to wash the clothes and whatever they needed to do to them before they went out to be sold. Right, looking at this, you would think it was part of a temple, but actually it's just someone's house. It's someone's back garden. You just can't really imagine that, can you? But this that we've just been walking along is basically the high street. So all your shops and everything, all your cellars would be all along these. And then further up where we were before, which is like over the top of here, is where the houses and the villas were. And we're heading up this way now. This place is massive. I don't think you understand how big it is. The amount of places I'm going to fall off the edge of here in a minute. The amount of places we've just walked past because there's so much to see is crazy. But anyway, we're gonna head sort of down here, I think, and round and behind this place. Right, I just wanted to give you a scale of this place, and it's still impossible. It really is impossible. But look up here. Wait. Right, so that's where we've just walked down, and it goes on and on and on right up there. Then if you look down here, it goes right down to the bottom of the hill. And then if I'm stood here, it goes right up there, and you can see Vesuvius in the background. And then, as well, it goes into a really wide street here as well. Really, really wide. It's amazing. I can't get over how big. I know it's a city, it's a town or a city, and this place is is where people would have lived. It's unlike walking around a town or city, but I think it's just the fact that it's still all here. That's the crazy thing about it. Freddie is absolutely astounded, and so am I. You got Vesuvius there. Look at this. And this is why there's millions of people here. It is very windy up this little bit as well, so I'm sorry if it's windy on the camera. But look at that, especially with the sun going down in the background. Vesuvius over in the distance there, and almost like a parade ground or something here. I don't know whether, I read something about there being a fort up here, so I don't know if that was up this direction, but that's amazing. Right, just off the main bit, so we were around that corner a minute ago where the horse was. It's just starting to rain, which is a bit of a pain. This bit here was the slave market, and apparently hundreds of thousands of slaves would come through here every single year to be sold on, brought from Africa. Mainly, to be fair, they weren't black slaves, they were white slaves and sort of Arab slaves, brought from all over the whole of the place. When they went in and they killed the families, they brought certain people, so like young women and sort of young boys, to then grow up to become gladiators, to become slaves, to become all sorts of different things. It is a shame that it started to rain. It's been so lovely today, but it did say that like round 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock we'd start to get some. So we've not done bad, to be fair, at all, because the rest of Europe is getting flooded at the moment. I can't remember the name of the storm, but there's a storm coming across Europe. Milan is absolutely underwater at the moment, so we've done really well. Right, so this next bit we're in, the rain actually has slowed right down, so we're all right. This is look at the sun. How good does that look? We're in the sanctuary of Apollo. Now, this was the most sort of important worship place in the whole of Pompeii. Now, I think I've worked out that the snake was like the logo of Pompeii. It seems to be on a lot of the signs as well, which makes me think that that's what it is. Look at this. Like, when do you get to be somewhere like this? The sun going down in the background, you've got Mount Vesuvius just up there, and you're in a temple. It's just a bit mad, isn't it? Yeah, look at this. You've got statues and all sorts. All the columns are still here. You imagine the sort of stuff that used to go off in this place. Crazy. Right, it's a bit hard. I'm filming through a fence here at the moment, and we're right next to the exit. Everyone's legging it because it's rained. It's stopped raining now, so I don't know where they're going. But look at that. Look at that massive thing. And you can't really see here, but if I zoom in, it's got a face in his back. I've heard about back boobs, but I've never heard about back face. That's a bit weird. Look at that bum. It's a bit like my bum, that one. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? The sky is amazing over there. Right, let's head back this way. We're not going out the exit. We're going to go and find some more stuff. Right, we are going to head out of here soon. But the thing that we wanted to save to last, so the crowds are gone, to be fair, is this. and it's so sad, but amazing in its own way. Now, it is rubbish because it's behind glass, but look at this. Look at their children, their little children. They're smaller than you, those Freds, aren't they? You're like 8, and they must be like toddlers. 2 little babies. Look how they're laid out as well. It's just so sad. Yeah, laid face down like that. I think, oh, that's, you can almost see that person's face. It's not detailed. It's crazy. And that one there, you can see the skull underneath it as well. Oh, that's mad. Right, try and look at the ones at the other end. Yeah, look. Like, what position are they sat in? Now, there is information about them on here. Oh, look, in this vineyard, 13 victims of the eruption were found, including adults and children, as well as masters and servants who lost their lives, sought salvation while running towards Porta Noquera, running over the blanket of pumice, which would reach 3.5 meters in depth. So 3.5 meters, that's like, I'm 2 meters. So it's like 1.5 or more than 1.5 of me. Absolutely crazy. 18 or 19 hours of volcanic rain. It's just scary. Imagine that. Crazy. Just think of this orchard with those people just walking round. Nothing had happened. They were just having a nice day, just like any other day. And then suddenly that happened. And the panic and the like sheer like fear of everybody, it would have been awful. But imagine just being a fly on the wall and seeing it all unfold. It's unbelievable, it really is. Anyway, we are going to head out of here. I really hope you've enjoyed coming along with us. We've loved it. I've enjoyed it. Have you? I definitely think it's one of his favourite places ever to go to, because he's never stopped talking. He's been in every single room, and I've loved it as well. So hope to see you soon. Love you all, and I'll see you on the next video.